This is a test video where we're going to demonstrate the Optimizer wizard of Horizon application. As you know, we're still in the process of updating the main menu, so I'll go straight to the Optimizer wizard. We're going to select constraint types first, so I'm going to select both cache and schedule. We click next. Here we need to add cache constraints. I'm going to click the add cache constraints button. First we're going to give it a name, so cache constraint for projects, let's say, give it number 1. So the severity type is warning, so it's a constraint, but it's a soft constraint, so we'll only be warned that optimization results will include these selections. In the scope, we're going to select project. We have a list of projects where we can select one or multiple projects. There's a selection where we can choose whether this constraint applies to a certain time period. So let's go with this default selection from April till June. Here we have the actual spend range. So let's say from 10,000 to 20,000. So these are minimum and maximum values. We click save. We can see that our constraint list for cache already has this constraint which we just added. We can add a new one. So this is cache constraint, let's say enterprise level. So let's call it number 2. In the scope, we're going to select enterprise. So we're not going to select a specific time period. And for the enterprise, let's say from 1 million to 2 million. We're going to save it. We can keep adding cache constraints, or we can click next, which will take us to the another constraint tab which we selected, which was the schedule constraint. We're going to add a new one. So this is that schedule constraint enterprise. So this is our third constraint. So we're going to select enterprise, and we're just going to say that maximum duration cannot exceed 12 months. We click save. We hit next. This is our review constraints page, which displays all of the constraints which have been added so far. As you can see, we have a project constraint, and we have 2 constraints for enterprise level constraints. So these are the scopes. We can delete them from this table, or we can edit them as well. As you can see, it's still a work in progress, because during our last meeting we agreed that we should display the constraint names here, put some more white space, and display the textual description of the constraint. Like, for example, this is a soft, warning cache constraint for projects 1 and 3, which applies to a specific time period of April to July of 2020, and the range for minimum and maximum spend is 10 to 20,000. When you hit next, we go to the optimization page. Here we can select and change the priorities of the optimization. So currently cost is our top priority. We can move NPV and make it second in priority. And also we can change the values which indicate uh, how our optimization is going to work. So basically here we're selected, let's say, 10,000, or yeah, we can drag it or type it. Okay, let's say 20,000. It means that our portfolio options, the results, if they're within $20,000, this difference will be neglected and they will be ranked identical. And we can do the same for all 5 options. When you click next, you will see the results of the optimization. We have the portfolio options, which have been ranked according to cost. Which, basically, the cheapest will be ranked first. We have these card charts for each of the portfolio options. And you can see that whenever we select a portfolio option card, that particular portfolio is highlighted or selected in our comparison charts, which are displayed below. And this concludes our first test video. Thank you.